haven't done this in so long. I think I forgot how to sit in front of the camera. What news should we share first? What news should we share before we get to the video? Probably the fact that I now have teeth and they're real. You can't take them out anymore. So no more looking at this missing hole in my mouth. Sorry to break it to you guys, but I officially have some jibs in my mouth. No more looking like a homeless man. I've missed you guys, you know that? I was having withdrawals, but now here we are, we're back. And I'm excited to share with you guys today what's in my camera bag for 2020. That's such a weird year. That doesn't even sound like a real year, 2020. All right, so we're gonna kick this off right away and talk about the backpack. As you know, photographers and videographers love camera backpacks and things they can put all their fancy gear in. And it's kind of important because you have a lot of expensive equipment just sitting on your back or in a case or whatever you're carrying. So backpacks matter more than you think, more than the average 7-year-old that's going to school and getting bullied on the playground and he falls on his backpack every day. So they matter a little bit more than the average 7-year-old. But let's actually get into the bag. This bag is the Incase DSLR camera backpack, something or another like that. If you type in Incase DSLR backpack on Amazon, you will find it. I really love this backpack. I have to give thanks to Sean Arbo for introducing me to this backpack because he has the same one. So I'm kind of stealing credit from him. I didn't have the idea to get this, but I saw him pull his camera out of his backpack and it looked sweet. So I was like, I'm gonna get that same backpack. Thank you, sir. If you guys aren't following Sean, you should follow him. But a little bit about this backpack. It is army green-ish. So I wish it was black, but they were out of stock in the black one. So I went with this army green one. There are 3 main things I like about this backpack. The first one is that it opens up from the back. So that means when I'm wearing it on my back, people can't be unzipping it and going in and touching all my camera gear. The second reason is that it has a ton of room. I can fit so much camera gear in here. And the third reason is probably that it has this spot on the front for laptops and hard drives and whatever you might need that's not necessarily video related, but more editing related or work related if you need your computer. Okay, so let's actually get into the pockets of the backpack of what I keep where and how I organize it, because organization is one of my most favorite things. I love it, and everything I have is organized, including my camera backpack. So first pocket right here in front, I'm gonna unzip that. We have this pretty little case right here that holds my editing hard drives. Now obviously there's no hard drives in here right now, but there'd be a Samsung 2 terabyte SSD right here, the same one right here, and then these are where I put them when I travel and when I need them to edit on the go rather than sitting at my desk back here. So that's where 2 hard drives can go. In this pocket I have a dongle for MacBooks, because you know how MacBooks get where you can't actually plug anything into them anymore, so you have to have this dongle. It's got a couple USB ports, SD card readers, charging port, all the fancy stuff. And then this other cable that we have is to plug in these hard drives here. So have a cable, a dongle, 2 spots for some hard drives, and that goes in this very front pocket. Now that I think about it, that's probably a bad spot to put this, right in the back pocket where someone could just pull it right out, because those are very expensive and probably don't want them to get stolen, but haven't had a problem so far, knock on wood. Let's move on to the pocket right below, which is, I don't really like this pocket because it's so tiny. In here we have sensor cleaner and 1/4. Usually I use that for tightening the tripod plates on the bottom of cameras, but I no longer do that. So maybe if I'm ever in an alleyway and someone's got a gun to my head and says, give me a 1/4 from Missouri 1973, I could whip it out of here and Bob's your uncle, I'm off, and I am unscathed from said robbery. Let's move on to the actual laptop part. So this opens from the front like so. So let's actually go into the laptop spot first. If we can fold this back a little bit here. The laptop case right here, you can slide out. This does not come with the camera backpack, but I have included it in my camera bag because I like just an extra layer of protection for my computer. In here I keep a mouse pad for on the go, and that just lives in there. Nothing else in this spot, just where the laptop lives. The next spot right here is supposed to be for an iPad or a tablet, but I don't have an an iPad or tablet and I really don't have a use for one. So in this spot, I usually keep my charger. I'll unplug it from my computer from my desk whenever I leave, shove that in there, and I can charge my laptop wherever I need, whether that be a grocery store or an airport or a sewage system. If they have outlets, I can charge my laptop. So that's where I keep my charger. Goes in that little pocket just for nice organization. Take this out for a second. The next slot right here is right behind these pens in this other little spot. So usually this spot takes up whatever it needs to take up. Sometimes it's cables, sometimes it's a phone charger. It really depends what I'm doing, where I'm going. Whatever I need to put in that pocket goes in that pocket. It's kind of a utility pocket. And then I keep a Sharpie in the last pocket just because it's always good to have a permanent marker in case you need to vandalize something. Now you saw me pull this bag out of this bigger part right here. So let's go in what that bag has. So this bag I pulled out is just this Amazon Basics little camera organizer, electronic organizer, I think it's called. And I can pack a lot of stuff in here. I don't think I put anything in these pockets, but if I wanted to, I sure could. It's some animal crackers. I don't know, I might get hungry. But let's open the actual camera part here and go to the first section. So I really like this because of all the dividers it has. You have these little rubber pieces you can stick things in. And then you have these little compartments like you see in a bathroom bag, the bigger pocket in the back, and then some more of these on the side. So what I keep in the back here is this little bag of cleaning stuff and screws and bolts and anything that I would need. Don't really go in there very often. And then my camera strap is also in there somewhere, I think. Camera strap there. Tuck those away. I don't use those very often, so that's kind of why I stuck them there. We have a nice 3.5 millimeter jack to 3.5 millimeter jack, a little aux cord if I ever need that. And then we keep some ibuprofen because you know how it can be carrying gear around all day if you're a photographer or a videographer or a lumberjack or someone that carries heavy equipment. You need some ibuprofen, some Advil, whatever you want. Keep in your bag and you will thank me later. Keep a set of headphones that are not my AirPods, just in case I forget my AirPods or my AirPods take a dump on me. Have those. And in this pocket I have some chapstick because you never want to be in the position of Napoleon Dynamite and have your lips chapped. I don't want to call my grandma. Next, on this jelly comb little divider thing here, we have a adapter for the iPhone. Flip her on over to the actual meat and potatoes of said camera backpack. Okay, so like I said before, I love this backpack because it does open from the back. So this is the part that's actually sitting on your back. And I really like that because then I can pull it off, flop it on the ground, and voila, you get all of your gear. I also love this because you can put so much gear in this backpack, and I have a lot of gear. You never know when you're gonna need something. So you might as well just toss in your backpack. Let's start with the main compartment of this backpack, and this is the camera area. Obviously there's no camera in here because I'm currently using it, but I'll put a picture right here of the camera bag actually looking full, and you can see how that fits. So let's move down this side first. We will talk about this pocket right here. In here on top I have my Zoom H1N sound recorder, which is super nice for getting voiceovers or connecting to any audio source that you need. This is my go-to for recording sound unless it's directly into my camera, but usually I'll go with this because the preamps are a little bit better on the Zoom H1 than they are on the camera. Got a couple extra batteries in this pocket here just in case these two die, and then that's about all I got in that pocket. This thing sits right on top of my big zoom lens that I rarely ever use because it is not very good quality. It is a 75 to 300 millimeter. Millimeter. It's a millimeter. It's a millimeter long. It's 75 millimeters. This is a 75 to 300 millimeter lens. It's supposed to be a macro lens. I don't use very often. I think the last time I used it was actually for the Vistas documentary. If you have not watched that, you can click up here and watch that. I put a lot of hard work into that documentary, so be kind. So I don't use this very often unless I really need some zoom shots, just because the quality is not very good. It's a kit lens, so you know, you get what you pay for. Moving on to the pocket next to that is the other kit lens that my old camera came with, the 18 to 55 millimeter EFS lens. I've also not used this lens since I bought my 16 to 35 millimeter Sigma. and that's been my go-to lens. So this one kind of just sits in my bag in case I need another wide-ish angle lens, but it's not very wide. And again, it's a kit lens. You get what you pay for. It's not the best quality. Moving on to this pocket, we have the Nifty 50, which most people say is the first lens that a photographer slash videographer should buy. Super cheap, only 125 bucks for this 50mm lens, and it is an EF mount, so it can go on full frame and crop sensor cameras. I love this lens for portraits. It makes the face look nice and perfect and pristine, and that is what I'm all about. So I use this as mainly my secondary lens for if I'm doing an interview setup and I need to get that tighter angle on the face. I will use this 50mm. Other than that, I probably only use it for portraits, but yeah, I'd say this is definitely my second camera lens for interviews, and it's been my go-to ever since I bought it. Under the Nifty 50 are a couple of cases like this that I use for storing SD cards, and that's where my knickknacks and other fun things go. But other than that, I don't really use them for anything. They're kind of just there in case I need them. Next to that, we have this little skinny pocket, which makes me super happy every time I pop this in. Just listen. Fits so perfectly. I love that. I love that sound. This is my SD card holder, and you pop it open, and boom, you have all of the SD cards, all the micro SD cards. Most of the SD cards are over on my desk because they need to be imported onto the computer, but this has saved me numerous times, and you really can't lose an SD card if you just get a case like this, and it's not even that much money, so just buy one. It's worth it. Moving on to the middle here is this nice little cloth case. If you open it up, you got all your variable ND filters. This one in the back here is the Tiffin, obviously for the Sigma 18 to 35. The one in the middle here is a 58mm. The one here is a 49mm for the Nifty 50 lens. And then I have a step-up ring in front in case I need to use the bigger filter on my Nifty 50. So that's where all my ND filters go in this nice little case. Fits perfectly right in there. Moving on to the pocket below is my microphone that I use for basically everything except for these talking head videos where I'll actually use my shotgun mic and I can put it on a boom stand, a big light. So this is my vlogging mic, I guess you could say, but I don't do much vlogging. It is the Rode Video Micro, and I have absolutely loved this mic ever since I've got it, and it will always stay in my camera bag. I won't go anywhere without it. Moving on to this pocket here, we have another case, nice little hard case. In here is all of the tools that I need to, screw anything or twist on any plates. It's got a bunch of Allen wrenches. It's got some screwdrivers of different sizes. It's got a flathead. It's really got anything that you need to put on any plates, screw in anything, and this small rig utility, whatever you want to call it, has been a lifesaver ever since I've got it. It helps me so I don't have to use that quarter in my backpack to screw on my plates. Next to that, I have a pocket knife in case I ever need to cut anything. You don't know when you're going to be on set and you need to cut a piece of tape or you need to cut a piece of string off of someone's clothing or whatever you might need. So I always keep a pocket knife in my camera bag and haven't looked back since. In here we have some electrical tape just in case we need to tape up anything smaller, make some fixes on some cables, whatever you might need. Electrical tape is nice and black for anything you need to fix, so always keep some electrical tape in there. I haven't had to use it many times, but it's there in case I do need it. And then we got another Allen wrench in there, which I just put in there just because it was laying around. Next, we are going to move on to this nice little bag here, which is a think tank pouch. Unzip that puppy, wrong side. Unzip that puppy, and in here we have the wireless lav kit. So here comes the receiver, the transmitter. Comes with a nice lav mic in this nice little bag. And inside of that, I have this little think tank pouch, and I keep a plethora of AA batteries in case I need them in a pinch. I use rechargeable batteries in these so I don't have to constantly buy batteries, but I have 10 batteries here in case I need them at some point. I will have them in this nice little battery holder. And here's the cable for the Rode Wireless Filmmakers Kit, lav mic, whatever you want to call it, which is nice because they all fit in this bag perfectly, and I can just stuff it in the side of my backpack and forget about it, and I know everything's in there. Maybe they fit. Can't get them. There we go. Under that, we have my actual battery case, which is Think Tank again. You unvelcro that, and you have right here the extra batteries for the Canon 80D. Here you have the extra batteries for my old camera. And in here you got the rechargeable AA's, plus you got some extra AA's in case you need them. So this is a nice little case that I can put all my batteries in and not have to worry about it. So now we have an empty camera bag minus the lens cap. This is the main compartment of where things go. We have a couple flaps on the door, I guess you could call it, and we'll explain what's in those quick. In this top little Velcro pocket, we just keep headphones for monitoring audio when we are filming interviews and videos and all the works. In here we have a nice pouch with more ND filters and all the things that you can imagine. Open that up and we got UV filters, polarizers, whatever you might need, we got in here. I never open this thing up, but just in case you need it one day, I'll have these in here that I can sift through. And in this bottom pocket, we have all of the plates you'd ever need to mount your camera to anything. I use the same system of Manfrotto quick release plates, so I can stick this on my camera and it can go from my tripod to my gimbal to my other tripod to my monopod. Everything I have has one of these, so it makes it super easy and I don't have to switch through a bunch of different mounts. So these are a lifesaver. And then in here, I just got a tiny screwdriver and some more Allen wrenches. This screwdriver doesn't do much except tighten tiny screws, obviously, but I never use it. Goes in this pocket. Allen wrenches go in this pocket, and that's all that's in my camera bag. So let me pack this up real quick and then we will wrap up this video. Done. So that is what is in my camera bag for 2020. There's a lot of stuff in there. It all has a purpose. It all gets used, maybe not as much as other things, but that's why it's in there, in case you might need it one day. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you like that. You finally know that I'm kind of a neat freak when it comes to organizing gear and shelves and desks and everything like that. I love being organized and having everything in the right place, so I always know where it's at and I'm not searching for one thing when I really need it on a shoot. Thank you for watching, and we will see you in the next video. We got to grab up here this time because the backpack's in the way to slam this. So that's where all my ND filters go in this nice little case. Nice little case. I'm Mike Tyson and I can't pronounce my S's. What side's better? What side's better? Lighting. Lighting. There. Here. Let's go here. My finger is bleeding. Can you guys see that? My finger is bleeding.
Enchanté.